It's Sunday and we got a new weekly, and there's some stuff going on. There's some roll. I would say in general, there's not a ton of scaling. That's what stands out a lot to me, or not like normal scaling type units. There is some though. There's some scaling from a rolling team with Worms of Sand type deal. There is some scaling from see an enemy, buy sell team type stuff. You can also combine that with the rolling team potentially. I think there's a jumping / spawning team, either with both or with a mix of, so that you can take advantage of things like a Minotaur or a Snake. You know, slug in front of Minotaur, bang, 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 and then when the slug's gone, you have Drop Bear or whoever come in and jump in front. There's not a ton, but, you know, there's a little bit here and there. And the Fairy Dust as well. So I think you could make some use of that. Along with that, obviously, you can bear and other things that kind of combo with spawning and that type of deal. But there's 7 sellable units, including the Owl's Mouse. So you could actually do see an enemy. I think it wouldn't be that crazy. There's some toy stuff. There's some mana stuff. I don't think there's necessarily a all-out mana, all-out toy team that's like gonna get you the whole way. I think you might have a mishmash of things. I would also call out, though, at least Dear Lord plus Owl is a combo in the sense of you make some use of the fact that you don't have a space every turn. So I would maybe be looking for that as a nice little maneuver. But, you know, I would say the Puma, as far as the toy thing, is probably not that great to me, because the toys that you have to choose from are probably not the submissive fanboys. Speaking of, someone the other week, I'm saying someone because I don't know if, you know, maybe they don't want me to say their name, asked if they could do fan art, which I thought was interesting. I don't even know what that would look like. Would that be me putting a wall chicken on the yak that was gonna kill itself type of thing? I don't know. I simply do not know. Well, I like the team as far as, you know what? Nah. As far as, we got a free level and then 2 half levels kind of ready to go, which is nice. I think we just win because of that from the start. We just win this one. Never mind, we draw. Forgot about the mouse ability. Stream-wise, some things that you would expect normally. We could have murmled, but nah. Give the nearest friend +1 mana for each roll this turn. Or just a random Anteater. I mean, random Anteater is nice for Dear Lord. I don't have that heavy, obviously, you know, the shrimp also with the buy-sell stuff. There's other things, I didn't call out everything, but this is a toss-up for me. A roll of the dice, perhaps, even? Instinct tells me that this will probably benefit us more right away. So I guess I'm gonna do that. Friend jumped. Give it 1/1 thing. Double it if you so. Yeah, okay. Eventually I'm going to sell this, so I might buy that if nothing comes up here. And why would I do it? If I did that, I should have done that. That was silly. That was nonsensical. Not sure why I did that. Alright, well, we probably would have been better off with the Mana Hound, because I ended up rolling a bunch of times, but... Okay, double kill at the front's great, unless the Meerkat hits the right way. I think we draw and or win. Nice. Depended on the ant luck. We did Pad and Sap, we did Woodcarve... actually, we didn't do Woodcarve Wednesday this week. I'm a liar. We didn't Woodcarve Wednesday because there was some Nintendo game trial action, which, ooh, there's the Drop Bear, though. The time to sell the Toad. It's questionable. Give the backmost tier 2 or lower unit +1. Well, if we get another one of these, that would be pretty sweet. Get it half leveled. Save. Roll. Huh. I don't know what to do with that. I'm gonna keep this on you for now, I guess. But yeah, we did do Whoop Card Wednesday because there was a Nintendo game trial this week, and then some days beyond that, which involves a draw, which involves 2 Star Wars games, but I did only play one of them, and we just finished it actually today on the Sunday stream leading into this. I've never been a big mouse guy. 3 friends bought. 3 friends? I mean, you know, these are pretty good actually. It does mean that this feels a little silly, but selling this to get rolls now is something that can make some amount of sense. So I guess that's what I'm doing. Okay. Okay. We are not going to get that 3rd roll, but the level here is definitely going to be worth it. Ooh. Interesting. Both good units. I think I'm interested in this first, though. And I do want to give the XP to this. Yeah. I'll do that. We're not necessarily in, like, a lane, really. We do have a little rolling thing, a little toy thing, but it's not, like, that big of a deal. Oh, you weaknessed him? We still... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say we still draw, and then we didn't, so... 2 friendly level up? 2 friendly level up? That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. This turn. I mean... I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. Yeah. Okay, salad. Yeah, that probably wasn't good, I would think. That was not the old mouse toy we wanted to see. We wanted to see the 3 friends died thing. Okay, we should win this one. Nice. But okay, yeah, so the Star Wars, there was 2 Star Wars games to choose from. I played one of them, and the one we played was... That's not happening. Was Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles. And it was certainly a game. Then on Friday, we went... on Friday as well, we did Pixel Cross Adventure, continuing that. We also did some Puck. And... we did some Endless Ocean today as well, because there was an event. Okay, I mean, a Minotaur is good. I feel like I have to abandon one of these to try to get this going. Could you really not have given me one of the better ones, Mr. Mouse? And jumped. In a way, this feels like more random to me than this does, even though they're both somewhat random in a sense. But I guess I'm going to do this, and then do this, and it's gonna feel bad. It's gonna feel bad. It's gonna feel bad. No buy-sell unit. No buy-sell unit. I guess just to continue the Minotaur getting bigger. Sorry to hear you went back to the vape habit. Don't worry, you can always kick it again. Kick it out again. Every day is a new day. I don't have a vape habit. Also, this team is insane. The team that they have is ridiculous. Alright. Well, we got that going. 3 friends bought. You can't even do the toad with the anemone. I think we just have to get rid of this thing. I think we just kind of have to get rid of it. Oh, I can skip. I guess I can do that. This doesn't seem all that worth it, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I completely did the math wrong. I thought it was interesting, but probably not what we're looking for. Okay. Yeah, I think we could do this, and then melon, and then get the melon on the drop bear or the minotaur, because we're probably not going to keep the anteater forever here. That's the spirit, great job. I've never smoked a vape. Oh, okay, you just have the buy-sell team. Well, these teams, I feel like the last few teams we faced have been kind of nasty. Also, wait, I need to go back down here. We were up there for playing a different game. I mean, this with a melon armor is also kind of nasty. And then that way you could just have it in the front. Ooh. That's also probably just better than this at this point. Yeah, that's like just better. I still want the armor on this, and I think, right? I don't know. We gotta put it on somebody, but at the same time, you do kind of want the thing that... Anyway, whatever. I guess I'm doing... It doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. This team doesn't make sense. This team doesn't really make sense. Transform to a pet of the same tier. I was considering it on the sea and enemy. I really don't even know what I'm looking for here. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, so what else happened this week? We had... Oh, you sniped my guy with the jump ability, of course. I should put the sea and enemy back there, it seems. Hey, you drew. That's something. I guess if I sell this, then I can have a spot for buying and selling or whatever. It's probably a little questionable, but... Especially because I keep not getting any of these now. Uh-huh. Sure. Doesn't exactly help yet. Uh-huh. Okay. I mean, it's not a buy-sell in terms of you don't get the sell ability, but... Sure. Just don't lose this round. How about that? Kentucky Derby happened. It was a muddy race, kid. Uh-oh, we're losing. Yeah, right? Yeah. Oh, it needed to snipe. Ugh. The snipes there were not what we wanted to see. Okay, well, here we go. This does work in the sense of we are starting to get some stuff going. We get a free roll. We get a buy. Would I rather just sell it now is the question. I guess do the first sell. And then this sits at the back to take a snipe shot. Yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing. And then another cell unit. Another cell unit. Probably a little too late to have gotten this going, is my guess. Level 2. So you're gonna burn my back, guys, but that could have been worse. We're gonna get some good snipes here. Yeah, this worked out, huh? Not bad, not bad. Not bad. Okay. Ooh, we can even do a crow. Sell, buff, buy, sell, buff, buy. No, don't buff him. That's the one guy you're not supposed to buff. Sell. Level 2. We don't actually want one of these, so we just roll. I know it does mean the squad is 4 squatted, but I think that was worth it. I think that was worth it. Alright, never mind. You can't beat this team. You ain't beating this team. Unless? No. Yeah. I think the team should have had more than 3 wins, but I also think we got there too late to really get a winning 10-run type of situation as well, so. A lot of sad news this past week in the streaming world, to some extent at least. Or I guess maybe the past couple weeks with all the VTuber graduations and such. Gargura, Mume. Is Mume an owl? I think so. She's a bird. She's a shy herb. No, she's not. Maybe she is. I don't know. And then there was another one that I don't remember the name of, but you know. It's interesting because I'm not really mega ingrained in that world, but yet it was still there was something about seeing all of the. Wow, this is weird. Is there any reason for me to have a level 3? I guess technically there is, but it feels gross to freeze all of this. I guess I'll freeze these two. How about that? Freeze these two, because then it's almost level 3 technically for the hammerhead. But you know, I was, at least for Gura, I was definitely, I was there when it happened, like when it began, I guess, I would say. In the sense of, like the first stream where she did the thing. I might not have been there for the exact stream, but I actually might have. I can't remember, I don't know if that's like a false memory type of deal or not, but. I'm gonna go with this. And, ooh, that's an early owl. I'm gonna take an early owl. You know what? I'm gonna take an early owl. Call me crazy. Call me maybe. Call me crazy. Call me maybe. But then after that, you know, only really saw from clips and things here or there. So I wasn't like mega ingrained in that stuff, but I would see clips and whatnot now and then, and seemed like a funny, talented singer and everything too. But I think what stood out to me the most of the whole situation is that I guess how would you say it? Like seeing how sad everyone else was and sort of like the admiration and or love or whatever, you know, however you would want to phrase it, was you know, it was touching to see that, to see that someone can have an impact like that on people. Okay, shrimp time. Next turn shrimp time, level 3 the thing too. That looks pretty good. It was also like I think the part that really got me was when I saw it was some, I guess you would call it a community project. Ooh, I guess you would call it like a community-wide project where there was like 100+ people and like a songwriter and just kind of crazy effort by a bunch of different people to make this like beautifully animated and done song and everything, and had hundreds of people singing on it and whatnot, and it was like, wow, you know, something to be said about that kind of reach. I guess I take a toy here. Yeah, sure, we'll stock a lasagna. You know, I regret what I just did, because I think getting a melon on the owl early actually could have been insane. So I'm still gonna do that anyway. I'm not going to fall for the sunk cost fallacy. We're still gonna run it how it is. It is tempting to sell the beaver instead, but also the beaver is an 8-7, so there's something to be said for that too. We don't need a level 4 beaver. It's not possible. A rabbit. Oh no, that's eating food. I don't know why I thought it was something else. We don't really, the thing is, we don't necessarily need the anteater, but also like just having a leveled anteater isn't bad either. But it was a wonderful tribute. I actually watched the whole video and everything. It was very moving. That being said, who cares all about that? Because we're playing Super Auto Pets. There's probably some VTuber haters in the chat and or YouTube. Those people be like that. Now this needs to be you in front this time to get the melon. I don't think I think I'd rather be rolling. I mean, I guess we can, yeah, we want to roll for the owl or anteater level here. I want to roll for the owl level. Yeah. Oh. Gain +2 attack and resummon the toy up to level 1. That is pretty nasty with some melons, to be fair. That is some pretty nasty work with some melons. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna see how this goes. I don't know how useful it might necessarily be or not, but I think there's something to be said. I think there is something to be said. Oh, also, I guess the last, like, VTuber related note is that I was, oh my god, this huge freaking bird you got there. I was thinking to myself, why are there not any, like, guy VTubers in the HoloLive group? And then, turns out there is, and, no, well, there isn't, but there is in the sense that there's, like, an entirely other branch, I guess, that's under a different name that is for the dudes. And I just didn't even know that was a thing. So, I guess I got owned. It was one of the things where you ask the question, then you search it, and you're like, oh, there's an answer. I'm stupid. Definitely one of those moments. Well, I guess really what you would want is a Nurikabe to switch in for the anteater, get a melon, and honestly you could like ditch the squirrel. You don't really need to hang on to it that long. Beluga whale swallowing a stonefish, I guess, is like kind of neat. Not amazing. It's not amazing. Not that everything has to be amazing, but you know. I just want some buffs going on. Would like some bufferings to be taking place. Okay, I guess not. Level on the shrimp, level on the owl. These are both things I would like to see. At least that's a pet. Okay, all right. We got things we can do at least. This will be interesting, because that's going to be a big guy, but I also will have a big guy. Not bad. So. What's also kind of weird about this is that I don't even know, I mean, I guess I give it to the anteater, the melon, but we really want that. That's literally what we wanted. That's literally exactly what I wanted. Do I hold on to the squirrel for one more turn of getting a melon on the next thing? I think I do. Getting rid of this now definitely does make the team significantly worse. I do understand that. But I also understand... Right, no more shrimps. No. No. Okay. Not quite Deer Lord Owl combo, but it is buying and selling to some degree. A good spot for the Nurikabe to be. Not bad, not bad. Melon. That. This replaces the shop, right? Yeah. I was about to say, definitely don't want to screw that up. I mean, that's close to a level 3 owl. Basically the same difference of being one away from a level 2 Nurikabe. So I'm actually going to do this, because we want that anyway. We do just kind of want that anyway. We could do deer lording things now. I mean, it's late, but like you could. I'm looking at the chinchilla as a potential sell for the buffs, but I just don't want the chinchilla to be the one that gets buffed. Okay. Switch out the shrimp for the sea anemone? It's just gonna be better? I mean, not all the time, but... I mean, generally speaking, it's probably gonna be better than what's there, so I think this is the time to do that. Again, we're not actually married to the flying squirrel, but... it is already starting to get big-ish. Level 3 owl would be good. That's a cell unit. Those are not. We got one more turn on the melon. Maybe we do end up putting the melon on the... No, we'd probably put on the sea anemone, I guess. Okay, snake means, yeah. RNG'd there, but it's okay. Okay, it's okay. Now, first here. Then here. Sell. Buff. Buff. Pets mana his okay. Sell. Yeah. Minotaur's not crazy, but it's not amazing. I would almost be interested in a what else? No, probably not you. I mean, a snake, a bear wouldn't be that bad either. Another sea anemone would be okay. Because again, we don't really need the squirrel. I kind of don't even want to bother with this a little bit, because I'm worried we're going to lose just from it being in the front, but it probably won't matter. I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping, at least. Here's a cell unit. You know what? I'll take a dragon. Ah, order of operations. Alright, well... yeah, it's not great. Not great. Can't get another leveled owl. Hamster not really worth it here. Chocolate. This is a cell unit, technically. Maybe we'll leave that. That way we level this and see what happens. That was pretty bad. That was a pretty bad mistake. Well, that was good. That was good. That was very good. That person's gonna have a ton of money next turn, except they won't because they just died. But if they did, they would. If they did, they would have a lot of money left. Okay, a bear is certainly a worthwhile choice. We want to do the buy sells before we get the bear involved. That is what we want to do. This is also a buy sell as well. Now this one we can get unlucky with the buff. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate when that happens. Okay, now we can buy, sell, have this. We get a free roll. We have a free roll still. And I'm gonna go with the bear, but I'm actually gonna do it behind, which is a little crazy, but I feel like maybe it's gonna work. I don't know why I feel like maybe it's gonna work, but I feel like maybe it's gonna work. Well, turns out we're getting burned anyway, so that's a little unfortunate. It was mainly to try and dodge some hits from snakes and things, but yeah. Yeah. Okay, I would much rather have the hammerhead. I would much rather have the hammerhead. Because we also don't really care if the hammerhead, like, dies early, is the other reason. Okay, we have a free roll. It's a buy sell. Do that one first because you also get the free stat. And then you can't do any more, so you roll. Roll. Okay, we're at 1 health, but the team is pretty good up front. Pretty big guys up front. Can we fight through? That's gonna be a big Minotaur. That is gonna be a pretty big Minotaur. But Nurikabe taking all those hits means we'll still have melon armor. And he's still alive because it's a Nurikabe, so okay. Not bad. Not bad. I think leveling this first is more important than the hammerhead, and that could happen. So there's that. There's also that. I wouldn't be against someone that would say to put the snake behind the Nurikabe, but I think we're locked in here at this point. No buy-sell here, unfortunately. There is one here, but it can get unlucky with the buff. Nice. And then throw one of these on. 6 out of 10. We still got a ways to go. For some reason, I thought we'd be at like 8. Okay, that's gonna be a lot of shots. Especially with the melon, or the mushroom. Although the mushroom doesn't really work that well there, but alright, we're good, we're good. Whew. The extra money here is obviously very nice. It's very nice. Ooh, a pita is pretty interesting. Pita is pretty interesting. Pizza's good too. There's something to be said about the pita on this fella, and also moving him here. Just because there's the chance that it matters. You know, if there is the red dragon, it can overwrite, but you could say that about whatever item you would have gotten. I don't think I'm going for a second cornucopia. I mean, we do have the money for it, but we also have the money for this. We also have the money for this. Nothing? I mean, I guess we could do the puppy, but probably not worth it. This doesn't have the sell ability, but it at least is some stats to take. 4 gold, 3 gold. Alright. Do this one first because it's a buff with the sell ability. Alright, we're living on a prayer. Living on a 1 health. Can we do it? Similar-ish looking teams, but mine had more health because of the double melon armor. So that flying squirrel paying off. Very appreciative of that. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can start getting that to level 3. It's kind of crazy, but I suppose you can do that. Okay, 12 gold still, which is insane. We're starting to fire. Starting to fire properly here. I might have skipped a Gariel, but I think I would take a Gariel if I saw one, and then take the shooting ability just to maybe take out some random armor someone got somehow. Some. Oh, that's juicy. That's a juicy set of stuff right there. That's a juicy. And look how big this shark is now. Look how big this shark is now, goddamn. Holy moly. It's not really even worth the crow money, but whatever. Here we go, we're still going, we're still going. Double bear. I guess it's gonna depend on me. Okay, it's a mammoth. I don't think that's enough to convince me. It's not enough to convince me, in fact. Alright, one more to go. One more to go. And I guess for the sake of it, I mean, I'm assuming I've never done it, right? Yeah, I've never even gotten a level 3 Nurikabe, let alone the achievement. 50-50. If you noticed, I had started feeding the apple and like the pigeon stuff to other things because I knew like RNG-wise the Nurikabe would eventually be getting there as far as max stats, so it made sense to try to fill the other areas. So here, I was talking about this. I think you go Poigon. I don't think it matters too much. Because I feel like the lowest health enemy often will be the last one, but I think it's pretty... Not that it's unlikely to be effective either way, but more that it's, you know, when you try to like do the calculus of the whole thing of which one is better, it's kind of, it's luck of the draw anyway. So that was a non-bow, that was a nothing right there. This nothing took place. I mean, this is better than the pear, because you'll get a chocolate from it, but it's very much not particularly necessary in that way, but okay. Can we do it? Can we get there? I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there. No fairy dust for that snake either? How'd you? I'm a little surprised that team was still alive at 16 rounds in. But hey, Nurikabe achievement, that's nice at least. Well, that went from a, you know, not good first round to a very good second round. Granted, pretty nice owl and whatnot. I am feeling good about the squirrel move, and then but then abandoning it, letting it go, you know, letting things go, as well as with the shrimp, going to see an enemy because it's just better, even though you can get the shrimp trigger with anything. So nice. Very nice. And also shows that, you know, you don't need the Deer Lord to do the stuff. But the Deer Lord would be good because there is, like, the blobfish and some stuff, too. But that was pretty, it's pretty damn sick, so... I will definitely take that one.